Hello everyone. Uh, Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about the situation of the air traffic management and the coronavirus and about what happened in Italy during this very sad period. Uh, I know that many professionals have given their opinion and their knowledge about the situation during this period. And I want to talk now about the situation of the air traffic controllers, especially during this period, because I'm the president of the Italian Association of Air Traffic Controllers, and I would like to share our experience, what happened in Italy, and especially what the association that I represent did during this period and what is actually doing since this period is not over yet. So, first of all, I want to introduce myself. I'm Oliviero Barsanti, the president of the ANACNA, the Associazione Nazionale Assistenti e Controllori Navigazione Aerea, which is the Italian Air Traffic Controller Association. And I work as an operational air traffic controller in Rome ACC, the Area Control Center of Rome. That means that is actually the center over which we give the air traffic services to almost all the Italian airspace and the traffic taking off and landing in the major airport in the center and southern part of Italy. And I'm an operational controller. I work daily on a daily basis in the center as terminal, approach, and area controller. I've been in the military in the very beginning, 25 years ago. I was officer in the Air Force as controller, and then I became a civilian air traffic controller. So in the last 5 years, I've been managing my association as president, and I had to face this particular period of the coronavirus, which has not been easy for anyone, especially for the health professionals that I need to thank, because they did a really hard job, and I thank them all, because they're very important for our lives. So thank you doctor, thank you medicals, thank you nurses, and all the professionals of the health system in Italy that worked so good and so hard. And I know that all in every country in the world they are doing the same good job, good stuff. Last year, the association is active since its establishment in 1959, and as a matter of fact, last year we celebrated the 60 years of operations of the ANACNA. Well before the civil air navigation service provider became its operation, because in the 50s in Italy there were only militaries. So the association has a big expertise and a great history in the air traffic management. So what is our consideration about the coronavirus? The coronavirus, the COVID-19, has stopped a lot of operations. And in Italy, that to be honest, was one of the very first country to have such a big spread of the pandemic in Europe. We had to face a serious issue more than the other countries. And in the very beginning, many other countries looked at us and asked on how we were dealing with this problem. And then sadly, also the other countries started having the same issues. So the Italian situation was actually like an example for the other nation on how to deal and to face this pandemic, and all the government rules and all the rules that the government has applied to try to stop the pandemic. So what did actually the government do? They as for various nations around the world, they ask to keep the social distancing. And the social distancing, to stay at home, of course, and to keep the social distancing. But how could we deal with the social distancing in the operational world, in the operational environment? It was not easy, especially for the little environment like the smaller airport control tower. So they decided, first of all, that some airport had to be closed, like Milan Linate and other major airport. They got closed because the government decided that every region in which Italy is divided, we have 20 regions in Italy, every region had to have only one major airport operating for all the region, and all the other one had to be closed. So the controllers working there, actually, they had to stay at home, and with some agreement with the unions, the employer had this agreement to continue paying their salary to the workers, and to continue to keep their professionally fit by giving continuous trainings at home, or some smart working, and some training with some training facilities, like for example simulators. So moving simulators, they could take the control tower simulators to several facilities to keep the controllers professionally fit. But in the ACCs, in the 4 ACCs that we have in Italy, it has not been such an issue, because there is enough room for anyone. But of course, with such a decrease of the traffic amount, it was not necessary to have the 50 to 60% that we have every day in the operational rooms. So they decided to reduce the number of working personnel down to around, let's say, 15 to 20, to merge the sectors, to have less people working in the same team. And especially in the very beginning phase, when the COVID had a major impact, to keep the team all together for several sessions, for several shifts, so that in case one person of that shift would have been ill because of the COVID, all the team would have been sent home, and the remaining team that were waiting at home without working actually, but waiting for a call, they would have been called immediately to work all together. So the team of 15, they went home because one was ill of the COVID. They would have stayed home for 14 days, for 2 weeks, and the other team would have begun to work. In all these months, of course, the association, the Traffic Control Association, didn't stop its activities, and we had several meetings with several web meetings, during which we decided to keep all the professionalism alive and the association alive. So we decided to focus especially on the human factors, and with human factors we are talking about especially all these problems that staying at home, not working, or thinking about the pandemic could have been such an issue for the professional life. An example, we increased the communication through our magazine, paper magazine, and web communication and newsletters, and we have also communication on Telegram and WhatsApp and whatever, many different channels. We spread the information on how to better deal with the pandemic. For example, we had an agreement with Sonno Medica, which is a team of doctors specialized with the sleeping issues. As far as I know, many people have had a problem in sleeping well because of thinking of the pandemic, because they are having relatives that were ill because of the pandemic, or all all the problems, the issues related with the COVID-19. And on the work situation, it was not clear if we would have been left home with unpaid leaves, or with on vacations, paid vacations, or whatever. So there were so many uncertainties that many people started having problems on sleeping. And that's why we had an agreement, the Association ANACNA with the Sonno Medica, to give the opportunity to the associates to have discounted fares about the sleeping disease. And then we produced many paper called ANACNA Kids. ANACNA, I remind you, is the name of the association. ANACNA Kids. So some work programs for small children to have fun during this period, to keep their mind working during this difficult period. We produce also a paper about yoga and ATC, which for many people is very important because it's related to mind functions and to the health of the brains, and to keep also the body alive with some movement. And we had also webinars with the AINS, which is the Associazione Italiana Non-Technical Skills, because we strongly believe and support the non-technical skills, which is a very strong part of the professionals in the air traffic management. As I always told and tell, the air traffic controller is a problem solver, should be a problem solver, because many times we face problems that we have to solve very quickly. And the non-technical skills is a typical feature of the air traffic controller. So having a webinar, an agreement with the Italian Association of Non-Technical Skills was a very big clue. I'm very happy of that. And after that, we are looking strictly to the curve of the Eurocontrol forecast, the traffic forecast. We see that in the last period the traffic has increased again. So even more and more people are starting working again. Those airports that were closed in the last 1 or 2 months started operating again. And thanks to the air navigation service providers we have in Italy, both the military one, the Aeronautica Militare, and INAV, the Italian Civil and Air Navigation Service Provider, we could start again to work slightly in an increasing manner. So we have had not so many problems on, for example, staying at home and then coming back immediately with the top amount of traffic, with the paramount peak of traffic. No, that was not possible. So we are facing an increasing number of movements that help us in introducing again in our environments. What I wanted to say now is that such things like the interviews we are doing on about explaining our situation are very important, because I think that sharing the information on how everyone is dealing with this pandemic, with all these issues and all the problems related to the COVID and to the pandemic, it's very helpful, because I think it might happen again in the future. And if this happens, we will have some history in the background and some expertise. And thanks to this organization that is spreading the information about our experience, we can do something more and something better for the future. One more point is that ANACNA produced a video to show the activities of the traffic controllers during the pandemic, and you will see in this short interview. And I thought it is a very important video, because it's not a video for the professionals. It's about the professionals, but for the general public, because the general public have been listening several times about the health professionals, that we strongly thanks, but there are other professionals that continue their work during this period, and one of these categories is the air traffic controllers. So we produced this video that you will see to thank all the air traffic controllers for their duty during the pandemic. If we stay united, all the departments in the aeronautical world and in a wider manner in all the departments of the society, we will win the future challenges. Thank you very much.
Non si ferma l'epidemia del coronavirus in Italia.
L'intera Lombardia, zona rossa.
Continua a crescere inesorabilmente il numero dei contagi che
As the entire world came to a halt, suspended in a dimension of bewildering paralysis. Lots of people who will probably never meet, but who are so intertwined in the fabric of our own lives, continue to work hard towards taking flight once again. It's easy when the sky is clear. You can gaze far into the distance and you know exactly where you are going. Then suddenly, dark clouds descended on the whole world, and our time came. The time to think about what's essential. From one day to the next, our priorities changed. And what used to be just simple routine quickly became an indispensable service to help the entire nation to get out of this very long turbulence. Thanks to the hard work put out by our air traffic control, Italians were able to embrace their loved ones once again. The relief efforts were set up and made it possible to provide the necessary medicine, face masks, even flour for baking at home. We allowed doctors and nurses to reach out to us and support us with their expertise in every corner of the country. And in order to do this, the control tower became our home. Our colleagues became our family. And from there, we continued looking up along with you to get back up there soon and hug each other once again down here. We're very proud of it all. And there's no better time to say, fly high, we care.